Today's conversation sits at the heart of change. In our methodology, as we work with organizations, this is our tool called Unlearn. You'll learn about it today. This is our repeatable tool, credible, reliable, repeatable method to help organizations and individuals unlock the mindset that matches their strategy so that they can achieve what it is that they're trying to achieve. So that's where it sits.
No, the way I describe unlearning is it's a process of letting go or moving away from once useful mindsets and acquired behaviors that were effective in the past, but now limiting our success. So it's not forgetting, removing, or discarding your knowledge or experience. It's the conscious act of letting go of outdated information and actively taking in new information to inform your decision-making and action. So it's a system, right? And this is a learnable system, therefore it's a scalable system. So, hopefully you're all sitting there going, well, hang on a sec, Barry. The Romans unlearned, this Bo Henberg character seems to unlearn, looks like companies are unlearning. How do I know what I need to unlearn? When you think big and go big, you become too big to fail, right? Like if you have a new idea for a business and you're like, I've got to get $1 million and the first release has to be perfect and it can't fail if it goes wrong. But if you have a new idea and you get $1 and you try something and see what works and what doesn't and learn your way through it, that's managing risk, right? And so that's what I always say with facing fear. It's important to have a big aspiration, but start small, and that means you're safe to fail. It means you invest, learn cheaply, and you get a fast feedback loop.
I think the most important part, and when I reflect on the types of people I've typically worked with, are professionals that have gone to university and they're an accountant, they're in corporate finance, they might be a lawyer, an engineer, and all of those things that we get taught to do from the first day at school to the first day at university, we get told to follow what's been done before. Here's a template, here's a precedent, here's a process that we need to follow. And by the way, don't stuff it up. So it's really, to me, the first part of changing mindset. And if I'm in a team and I'm listening to the leader or the business owner talk about changing mindset, the first thing that I think to myself is why? Why should I care? Like, why should I listen to you? Why should I care? What are you going to do for me? Now, I might not say those things in that team environment, but that's what I'm thinking. And so I try and break down that mindset and why change and how to unlock mindset into 3 or 4 very simple questions. Why? So why should I care? Why should I do this? And often, as Barry mentioned, that's connecting back to, is it going to make my life a bit better? Is it going to make my job a bit easier? Is it actually going to have the converse effect and it's going to make my job harder and add more stress to my life? When am I going to do it? And how am I going to do it? But really starting with that concept of why and what's in it for me as the individual.
And it's about having an aligned goal and direction that everyone buys into. And that is really important. And once you have that, and you're all pulling in the same direction, then that's when great things happen. So whether it's in the sporting arena, whether it's in the business arena, I think having that aligned goal and having the willingness to kind of move past and unlearn and refill your cup with the things that are actually going to help you achieve that goal is what it's all about.
Yeah, no, one thing I would encourage you all to think about is whatever you wrote down when I threw those questions of what you need to unlearn, maybe think about, sit down and have a look at it and whatever you came up with, maybe it's like perfectionism, maybe it's like decision making, maybe it's whatever, like go and find someone you trust and say to them, look, this is something I want to get better at. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how good do you think I am at decision making? And hopefully they'll be kind and they know you and they'll say, you're a 4, Barry. And I'll go, awesome, 4 out of 10. How could I get to 4.5? is there something I could do, you think, in the next week that I could get to 4.5? And when they give you some advice, pick the most uncomfortable thing and try that, just to really shake yourselves up. And I guarantee if you do that for a week and you come back next week, you'll probably be at a 5 or 6, maybe even a 7. And then just if you get in that habit of just trying to get half a point better every week, I think you'll be amazed at the progress.
It's really hard in business to define winning, but what I really tried myself when I had my own business and then tried to impart this on the people I worked with in the team is that we're there to win. And then it's about trying to define what does winning look like, who's our competition, why we hate our competition, and how we're going to beat them. But to Barry's point, little steps get you down the road. And talk about changing mindset. For a long, long time in my own business, my password was "we will win," with numbers after it. But that was my mindset, and then it's how you impart that on the people that you work with.